So I'd like to take a few moments today and talk about time. It seems as if we all have the same 24 hours to deal with. And what we do with it is where the differences come into play. And I look at time as one of those factors that people commonly tell me is the reason that they don't work out. And, as a gym owner, one of the things that's really interesting is that when I became an owner, it was much more difficult to find time to work out because I always felt like I was taking time away from something that was important, whether it was employee things, whether it was marketing stuff, whether it was the books, whether it was always something that was going to be there regardless. But I would always look at it as something that had to be done. And when I went out on the floor to work out, instead of me focusing on, the time that I had to work out to take care of myself, there was always a thousand things in my head that were pulling me in a bunch of different directions, as opposed to doing what I would tell my clients to do, which is leave it all at the door, that it was my hour. And I would not do that a lot of times. And I lost a lot of ground because of that. And I think that most people neglect to take time for themselves with the expectation that it'll be okay. And I reflect on my mom where, she's been passed away for about 9.5 years now. And she didn't like working out. It was one of those things that wasn't on her list of things she wanted to do. And as much as I might have tried, she didn't like it. And I wanted her to have the things that working out gave her, that would have given her, that energy, that vitality, all of those things that I think, make it so that we don't muddle through life, that we drive through it. And when her funeral and wake happened, what I saw was this enormous amount of people that came to pay tribute to somebody who had really impacted their life. And people that I didn't even know, they would say they talked to my mom every week. I didn't even get to talk to my mom every week. I don't know how she made time for all of that, but she did. And she impacted all of those people's lives in this enormous way. And I came away from that funeral thinking two things. Number one, I want to have that kind of influence on people and leave that kind of legacy behind. And number two, I want to have the time to continue doing it. I don't want to pass early because I haven't taken care of myself. And that's a tough thing. I mean, it's tough to think about that we have to break away from our normal way of thinking to take care of ourselves so that we can be here. And I know if you ask people around me, that is one of the tougher things that they've all tried to tell me is self care, take care of yourself. And it's about making time for yourself. And I think for all of us, because we do have the same 24 hours, how we allocate it is really important. Do we take the time to make sure that we're getting the things that we need so that we can be there for everybody else? And I just really encourage everyone to think about that, because working out is one of those great things. It gives you something that's powerful that you can take with you that will drive you through other things. And it's not if you're not doing it for the beauty pageant, for what you see in the mirror, the rest of it has real impact, I think. So when we think about going forward, as a person, making time for yourself is really important. And what you do with that time, hopefully, is things that will allow you to do the other things in your life that are important to you with more vigor and vitality. So I want you to think about that as you go on, that, make time for yourself. It's really important because you're really important and we want you to be here.